Hey guys, I've got a queen right here, and she is in this JZBZ cage, and you can see she's actually kind of eating the candy plug on the inside there. And I'm going to show you how to mark a queen. So this is just kind of a spare queen we had, and it's a little bit easier to show her like this rather than inside of a hive. What you need to do this is a paint pen for whichever year that you're wanting to mark the queen, a piece of paper, and a queen. So I'll go ahead and pull her out, and I'm going to show you actually how to hold her for marking her. It's easiest to do this without gloves. With gloves, you can't really do this, and you got to use one of those marking tools, but it's really not that difficult to mark a queen. So she is a mated queen, but she can still fly. So we'll go ahead and get her out of here. And she just crawled out, and I just kind of grabbed her. So right now I'm just kind of holding her in my hand like this, and that just keeps her from taking off. And then I can see she's trying to fly off, and then I can just kind of reposition her. So she has a stinger, but she won't ever use it on a person, or I've never been stung by a queen. When you are marking the queen, you have to hold her a certain way. So there's a couple different ways you can hold her: by the wings, but that doesn't work well for marking. You can hold her by the abdomen or the head, but it's a little tough to do that too, because you have to have just the right pressure. The way that I like to actually hold her is by the legs. She's got 6 legs, 3 on each side. And if you hold her by at least 2 of those legs, then you can hold her securely. So you can see I've got her just like this with a couple legs. And then ideally, before you have the queen in your hand, you got the pen ready. So this is a POSCA pen. You always want to shake these first, get that paint spread around inside there. And you can see the tip there is green, but it's dry. So what you want to do is you just want to press and hold this down and get that tip wet. So I typically do this like on an inner cover or piece of wood, but you're just trying to get the tip of that wet so that when you do mark the queen, it's easier. If your pen is really hot, it will gush out. So you just want to make sure you kind of practice first. So I've got the tip wet. I kind of hold it down and depress it. And you can see it gives off some paint pretty easily. And then where you do marker, you have the head, you have the thorax, and you have the abdomen. You're trying to do it on this little dot right here, right behind the head. And you're taking your pen and you're marking her just like that. So I'm not pressing down on her. It's already wet, and I'm just kind of rubbing it on here. And that is perfectly fine. So this is a water-based pen. Safe for the bees. It wears off after a couple years, but usually the queen doesn't make it that long. So I'll snap that close. And before you actually release her back into the hive, you want it to actually dry a little bit. If you're using a queen marking like a catcher, you just leave her in there for a few minutes, or you can just hold her and just kind of blow on it for a second and then release her. So we're going to put this back into the cage. And I'm going to rotate her around so I can put her into this cage. All right, just like that. So now this queen is marked, and she will stay marked for several years now.